Yeah, very big heartfelt welcome to you, my dear Capricorn. The Earth has continued its path, and we see behind the Sun the constellation Leo, the strength, the lion that is calling into the soul path. And the Moon has turned as well. And now we see, of course, behind the Moon, the constellation Capricorn. So it's almost like Leo is calling you to wake up, to awaken to your true power, to your true strength. You are the card number 15, and Leo is the card number 8. Now, usually I would place the card here because when we go to the right, it goes to the human path. That's the spin the Earth does around its own axis in 24 hours. But you had a full moon in the last reading, in the last month, and now you're going back into your sign to the left, the soul. You're coming home because Sun and New Moon will be in December, your destination again. And so from now on, I will read all the readings until then to the left. So I have decided to change it again, and you, of course, become the witness. It's very interesting because, I mean, when I remember at the beginning, I was just like the fool starting the readings, right? And didn't know really what I was doing, but I just did. And I think that's what's really amazing about all of this. We're learning by doing. And so now slowly more and more specific things are coming at me, and I recognize more and more what it really does to us when we go to the left, when we go within, back to the core. And when we go to the full moon, we actually go outside. We go to the opposite side, which is Cancer, to you. And so that's more the right spinning to the light, to the out. And the left spinning is going more to the dark, to the within. And so from now on, I'm going to read all the readings to the left until your new moon. And then from your new moon, I'm going again to read the reading to the right. You're going to go outside again. The 10th house of social status, ruled by Saturn, the teacher and the father, ruled by the Sun and the 5th house of joy. And here we see, of course, that Leo is calling you, right? The lion is literally saying, hey, wake up. And you see how the third eye is in the vase where the rose is standing in. She's not in a natural ground where she can grow. She's in a vase. She has been cut. And the snake from the first chakra up goes over her shoulder to her third eye, and that's what you need to develop, is the third eye. That's why you have a mask. And of course, the third eye for you is that liberation out of the social status. Leo is the lion's breath, right? We know that when we stick the tongue out and when we move our eyes up and we become like a lion, then we can call and shout and let others know, this is my territory, this is my place. And of course for you I did Nataraj Asana, the dancer's pose, so that you can climb up that ladder up to the third eye and actually dance, because you are such a beautiful animal. You go the highest, right? The Himalayan goat is like never seen anything like it, right? They go up like steep mountains, and so here you are being called by Leo. So this is just the sun and the moon in the sky, Remember that the left spinning path is the wobble the Earth does around its own axis to the left. That wobble lasts 25,800 years, and we divide it through the 12 zodiac signs and get an age of 2,150 years. And of course, we are currently going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, which is coming after you. Your court card is the Queen of Pentacles. Is your birthday between December 12th and January 8th, then this is your court card. She holds the star, she holds the pentagram in her left hand, and she's looking at you and she's saying, yes, recognize that you are holding also Venus. Venus, the pattern of Venus is like a pentagram. In the pentagram there's the golden cut, the golden mean. And so you holding that dearly up in your left hand into that side that is giving you the understanding that the soul will always teach you whatever you need to know. Back to the last reading where you had Cancer Sun giving the Capricorn the full moon. Your path back to yourself is paved with love and magic. Wow, look at that. So back then I was reading the reading, of course, from right to left. And I will do that now differently, right? Sometimes we have to make mistakes so that we recognize that that's not the right way to do it. And so now, from now on, I'm gonna do all these readings to the left, back to yourself. And I always have to remind myself, because it's not something I do naturally, but this is the state of consciousness that now is speaking to you. So one more card that I want to pull here in front of the camera is out of the Live Through My Healing Oracle. And this is my latest deck I purchased in 23, which is a 5, plus the 2 is a 7, which is Cancer, which is opposite of you. But the 5 is in your card. Right, the 15, and then 1 and 5 becomes a 6. Win, bliss, and comfort. The number 8, look at that. So, Leo is shouting. Leo is shouting. Win. 8 portal, look at that. So I suggest you stop the camera and you read the message here. And I'm gonna read it to you, of course, as well. Chaffinches pink and cherub, yawning perfumed blossoms scent the air with clouds of comfort wrapped in wondrous wishes. Perfect pastoral peace passes silently as a white heart glances up, nostrils flared, drinking in all the blisses that alignment offers. Wow, sounds like you are in a bliss state here. Win, of course, is winning, right? And the bliss and the comfort that you're experiencing right now, and the call to the soul, right? So it's kind of like saying yes, it's calling you to recognize now the 8 portal that is framing you, the 15th card, which becomes a 6. And 6 is self-love, and 6 is the third eye position, the 6th chakra. And look, there are the colors in here as well. That is literally letting you know there is in the third eye the vision of seeing right? With the psychedelic experience that we can have in the third eye, this beautiful, blissful state. It begins beautiful, right? Good. So I just have to remember to read from right to left, which is the state of consciousness that brings us back into ourselves. Good, let's begin. On the position of the Fool is that state of consciousness that is saying, well, I'm going to take that step into the soul, back to me, back into the unknown, back into the dark. And the Two of Swords, which is Moon in Libra, is speaking to you in bringing a peacefulness to your mind. A bonne droite here, the Visconti Sforza Tarot, one of the oldest tarot decks that exist. And we recognize that the Two of Swords is saying, bring those two thoughts that you have deep within you into a crossing, and then bring yourself right here, where the crossing of the 8, the infinite banner here, of a bonne droite. If I do good, good comes back to me. So you take that step. You are ready to go back to yourself, right? And so there is a 2 and a 0. 2 is the intuition, 2 is the duality, 2 lets you know you are ready to now take that step back into the world of duality. Because the Moon in Libra, of course, is giving you always the choice to choose between the two thoughts. And so now you are getting the message that there is the 4 flowers, the square in this world, right? The physical world. There's a triangle pointing up and there's a triangle pointing down. That you have the mastery to bring always duality into that one point in the center of the whole card. Then comes on the position of the Magician, the mystical shaman. And this is the name of the cards here of Alberto Villoldo, the mystical shaman oracle deck, the number 38. So there's an 8. And there's an 8, and now you get a 3 with the 8. That's the Empress. And 38 calculated together is an 11, a portal. And then the portal with the 1 is 3 times the 1. Then you have 3 times 1, and you understand all of a sudden that the magic lies in the third eye, 3 times the 1. The third eye speaking to you. See into the soul path, into that deep path again, back to yourself, back to the sun and new moon in your sign. And the mystical shaman is coming and helping you to recognize that the magician as well is letting you know, no more third eye on a vase. Now you are working with the third eye, right? And the snake has let you know that's where you want to go, and now you are working with the third eye because that's important to you to overcome the social status, the number 10, right, in your zodiac sign or house. And that's the 1 as well here, right? So recognize that the one flower here speaking to you when you cross and when you bring the dualities together, then you are empowered and you are recognizing that and feeling that. On the position then of the High Priestess comes here the 6 of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo. And the 6 speaks to you as the 6, when you combine the 1 and the 5, 1 is the Magician, 5 are the five senses or the Hierophant. The spiritual teaching is speaking to you. Use the magic. And so the 6 is your number. You recognize that Leo is shouting at you, is calling the mystical shaman out of you, is bringing you into the Jupiter message of victory in Leo, right? Leo is calling you. See that I help you to be victorious. And calculate it together with the 2, it's an 8 again. So you have an 8 through Leo, but really through the win, through the bliss and the comfort that you are feeling now. And you have an 8 here, and now again you have an 8 with the High Priestess. She is the one that also has a snake from her sexual or basic 1st to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th chakra. She's almost the inner voice that you're listening to. And she is the one that manages duality. She's the one that is then also able to handle the 2 of Swords, right? Remember always the 2 is the duality that we handle through the intuition that comes forth from deep within. And so here you get another 8. That the victory that is coming to you now is clearly coming through your intuition, through going deep within. And interesting enough, the mystical shaman is looking at this card, is looking at the Lord of Victory that is holding the wands, and he is almost like with the hands looking at that. He is looking at you, looking at this central spot, and it's again the same spot where the crossing is the center of the card, and it's always what's happening in the center of the card. And so in the center of the card here is the 3rd eye. You see his eyes are a little lower. The 3rd eye is here, and he is separating. He is seeing how the soul is taking the path back home, right? And so you are really on a energy path right now. On the position of the Empress comes the Emperor, and look at that, he also is going to the left. How beautiful is that, right? So she is the number 3 and he is the number 4. Together it's a 7, which is Cancer, which is the success, which is your opposite sign. And so in the last reading you had Capricorn full moon, right? The Cancer sun gave the light to the Capricorn full moon, and your path back to yourself is paved with love and magic. So here you see that 2 powerful people, a couple, that is happening within you, because the 6 is always that self-love, that bringing the masculine and the feminine deep within you into union. And so here you get the Emperor and the Empress coming together, and he's leading forward, and she is giving birth to the masculine aspect within you. And this is true love, right? A love that now gives birth to the first zodiac sign, which is Aries. And he's sitting on the square, on the eagle perspective, on the higher consciousness. And he's managing the material world. And so you, with the victory behind, can now bring this victory further to yourself, to deep within yourself, to deep knowledge and knowing that you have that power. Then on the position now of Leo, right? Because the Empress is the last state of consciousness where all zodiac signs are connected. And then comes, of course, the Emperor, but I'm not going into those cards. I'm doing that only on the full moon and the new moon. So now, still the Emperor came up on the position of the Empress, and here we have the 3 of air. And interesting enough, right, we had the 2 of swords, which was moon in Libra, on the position of the Fool, right? And so now we have the 3 of swords, which is Saturn, your planet, in Libra. So what's happening here with Libra? Is Libra speaking to you in a very painful way, that there is a situation? The 3 of swords is always that heart-wrenching moment of, there is a story of betrayal, because we see here a bird, actually 2 birds, and 1 bird here on her wing, and she's facing the Emperor. 2 and 3 swords are 5 swords, and so that comes back to your card, the 15. So Leo is shouting at you and is saying, well, this is in the human path possible, but not in the soul path. In the soul path, if someone is meant for you, he is with you. You have here on your wings the other that is with you, but maybe you don't see that person that is still able to come to you. And so this is very powerful. You have an 8 and a 3, which is then calculated together again, the 11, and you had an 38 here with the mystical shaman, and he sees that. He's literally supporting here the Emperor, and he's saying, well, look at that. 2 eagles here and here on the square. 1 in a circle. Wow, how beautiful is that? I just see that for the first time. 1 eagle in the circle, 1 eagle in the square. And what does that mean? 1 eagle is connected with the feminine, with the left, and the other eagle is connected with the masculine, with the squareness of life. And so the Emperor is looking at the 3 of swords. And of course the 3 is always connected with the Empress, the emotional side of this personality, right? And so here you are given help through the Emperor, and to recognize it is over, it is done. And that's why he's calling you, right? That's why Leo is calling you and waking you up and making you see through the 3rd eye, the 8, the Earth star. The Earth star is always hovering above the 7th chakra, right? Right up here, it's your Earth star. And so recognize that. Just recognize that, because again, with Leo, you have then an 11 here, a portal. This is a portal, right, where you can go into the soul, or you keep going into the human, but into the human right now. Leave that sorrow in the human path. Wow. I'm recognizing already that reading to the left is, ooh, it's more intense, but it's like, it's so amazing. Okay, so then on the position of your court card, right, of who you are as a personality in the world, the Queen of Pentacles, comes the King of Cups, a Scorpio. And the Scorpio personality is saying, well, I recognize the pain that you have here, and you see how there are these 2, and it's almost a Scorpio is coming into your life and is maybe giving you the soul relationship that you are longing for. A deep relationship that you can grow, because he's very intuitive, he's very emotional, deep. He's the deep, deep, deep ocean. He goes the deepest. There's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of intuition. And there's a lot of warmth that he can bring to you because you are an earth sign. And he is a water sign, so he can make you even more fertile. He can give you the water that you need to open your heart. Or you are recognizing that deep within you, and you're going to a healing by going deeper down, because Scorpio comes after Libra. Right? So see that healing is coming. You are the 10th sign, zodiac sign, and he's the 8th zodiac sign, so it's number 18, and 18 is the moon, and you are in the moon, and it's almost saying, yeah, you are going deep down into the new moon. Your path is going to go now within again. Then on the position of the devil comes here the Two of Swords again. And so the Two of Swords is a portal around Scorpio. 2-2. And you had already 3 swords, right? So now you get another 2 swords, and that's the healing to the 3 of Swords that happened here to you. And then that's 7 swords, and that's again Cancer. So the path back to yourself is paved with love and magic, and the magic is coming because you have 2 times the same card coming up. Find deep within now the peacefulness that Moon in Libra is bringing to you, and you see how she is holding the 2 swords, and she's crossing her arms so that she is bringing the right side with the left side of the hemisphere and the left side with the right side of the hemisphere, and so she can heal. And she's having a mask, and you now relying onto the third eye. Remember, that's where you're going to see the peace. That's where you're going to see that there is this crossing helping you to come into your decision, a decision that is coming from deep within, from the third eye. On the position of the 15 comes another 2, which is the 17, which is the age of Aquarius, which is the star that are you holding in your left hand. Right? So you recognize that after you comes Aquarius, and Aquarius is then, of course, the 17 calculated together becomes an 8. And Aquarius is opposite of Leo. Leo's path is, when he goes to the full moon, to Aquarius, because Sun in Aquarius is giving the light to Leo. And this is happening today because I'm gonna do the reading of Aquarius as well today. So Aquarius is speaking to you through Leo, through the 8 of here, the win moment. And so you are really, through the 17, recognizing again deep within you the answer, the centeredness that you have to achieve. You see the crossing in front of the heart here. Come into your heart and you will always see the third eye right away. The brain is dual. So don't go into the brain, go into the heart. The heart is singular, and you will see in the third eye the right answer. 17 creates an 8. And so again, an 8 portal is coming to you, right? Through here, this Lifruma healing oracle. Then on the position of the moon, which is Pisces, comes the dream oracle, also from Alberto Villoldo. And here it's the dances on 1 foot card, the balancing act, the number 9, which is the completion to the 18, which is a 9 as well. Look at that. And he's taking, or she is taking, a step, a big step into the soul cycle. Look at that. You have a lot of signs that, yes, you are ready to go deep within. And the moon is supporting you, giving you a 9-9 portal to take that step deep within to the left. And that's the balancing act, to know how to read the moon's phases, the full moon to the new moon, right? And I have made a few mistakes, and now I think I am on the right path. So you're going deep within, and the moon is helping you to go deep within, because you're going to have your new moon in December, and you're going to arrive deep within. And there is the age of Pisces, that deep love that you can give yourself, and that step, that dancing step, because remember, you are the dancer. You are not the devil for me, you're the dancer. And you're dancing deep within to see the third eye and to see the healing that you want to see in the world. Because then, on the position of the sun, comes the lake. And there you go deep within. It's the number 31, which becomes a 4. So the 19 becomes a 10, which is your house, the social status, plus a 4 becomes then a 14. A 5 is left. Again, the 5, recognizing that you have always the 5 senses that you want to bring together, and you know that the sun has brought you the 3 of Swords. Leo has brought you again a deeper look into Saturn in Libra. Saturn, your planet. So the sun is saying, dive deep down into the emotions, into the lake, because you had the Scorpio, the deep ocean, and here you find the healing. You're taking that step back down to yourself, into the new moon phase, into yourself, and it's deep what's happening here, right? The 10 and the 4 is the 14, which becomes again the 5. And so the 5 senses are teaching you to dive deep down and to submerge yourself and to not be distracted. We call this pratyahara in the yoga tradition. Dance down. No more dancing up, dancing down to yourself, right? And then, of course, you have a 4-4 portal with the Emperor. When you recognize the Emperor within you, on the position of the Empress, then you can go deep down and you take that step and you let yourself fall. And you see the castle behind here, right? And so you know you're not just in a normal lake. You're in a lake that has a beautiful castle, and you have to go down to rule and to be a just ruler. Sometimes we need to get away from everything, and then we recognize, there we find the silence, right? The 1 and the 3, the magic in the Empress becomes the Emperor that sees, within me is the power, within me is the strength. And then comes on the position of the World here, the 6 of inspiration. Then she's looking at her and she's like, oh my God, you see how she is diving down and she's coming up. And the World, the 3 and the 6, right? The 21 becomes a 3, of course. A 9 emerges here, a 9 portal. You got to step, go deep down, and you emerge again as the 6 of Wands, which has come up already on the position of the High Priestess. And there it was an 8. The 6-6 portal is framing here the lake, the depth, the 31, right? And the 4, again, the Emperor. The victory can only be real victory if you recognize that the High Priestess handles the victory, and now it's the world. And then a completion is coming to you, a 9, right? Through the world. And she has now, look at that, the snake around her knees, and the knees are your body part, right? So you recognizing now all of a sudden you are victorious, not just in your own world, not just here with the High Priestess in your intuition, but also with a bigger crowd. The whole world is recognizing you being now fabulous, being empowered, and you're looking into the human path. That yes, the victory is coming to you. Yes, the Capricorn full moon has given you the empowerment, and now the path back to yourself is paved with love and magic. And yes, there is love and magic, because the 2 of Swords has brought to you that deep inner peace, that deep inner knowledge. The 8 here of knowing I am ready. The 8 and the 2 is a 10, which is your number, right? It's your house. And so you know what you're doing. You know that you are victorious. You have gone deep down. And then you see when the full moon, that you see that when you go deep into the dark, right? Because she's dressed dark, but there is this, the light around her, the sun, right? The sun and the new moon are going to be in your sign, and you are going to be victorious when you go now to the left, to your inner core, to the empowerment, sun and new moon in your sign. And so this is the story, right? Go deep down, and you will be inspirational. You will be a deep inspiration in your intuition, in your outer world, in your inner world. And this is how we manifest from deep within. And look at her. She's like, yes, I am here. I am coming out. And I know when I am deep down in the lake, I can come out and I can rule again. And she's looking. Look at that. It's really interesting, right? She's looking. She has come out and she's looking at the castle. She is knowing that then she can rule again, because she has found that deep inner peace within her. And so this is the story of the win, the bliss, the comfort, that you have now reached a state of consciousness where you know everything begins deep within you. Wow, what a beautiful message. I recognize reading to the left is really amazing, right? It's like it's not something I would do, but it's powerful, and I don't want to do it only once for you. I want to really do it all the way to the path to the new moon. So this is my gift to you, because I started with you, and I hope I see you in the next reading, because that's when the earth has turned in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Virgo, which is the 9 here, taking that step deeper into the deep lake to heal, to then be the completion of you knowing that deep within you, finding the strength again. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.